BlackBerry, Mac, Windows, and we're partners with HP, Microsoft, Intel. We're part of NG Connect. And we offer guarantee in the translation accuracy through our back-end mystical magic, like we like to call it. But really what we're doing is we partner with Nuance Communications. We use their engine for our speech rec. Once we get the speech-to-text results, we have our own algorithm that uses a predictive text type of scenario. If you've ever used like a Google or a Bing search and it says, did you mean this search? So we take something like that, with our own algorithm, and we take the responses from Nuance and run them through that query. So if something didn't come through correctly, it'll fix the misrecognition before it does the translation. So we tend to get a higher accuracy rate than Nuance. It works in 44 languages. We have it integrated into every HP desktop and laptop, so they use our API for their own web conferencing software. And we also have our own conferencing solution, which can be white labeled as well. It's used currently in hospitals, and the way that it's enterprise class and HP ready is we offer, in addition to the automated interpreters, network of over 20,000 live human interpreters that we can connect onto the line with a 15-second SLA. So if for whatever reason there's too much background noise or there's some misrecognition in the engine, press 5. Within 15 seconds there'll be a live translator there to help with the call. So they're all guaranteed.
So do you guys coordinate those, or all those translators? Do they work for you, or how does that arrange?
It's through a crowdsourced engine. So it's a crowdsourced engine, and they all have to go through testing. They have to get an 80% or higher result on their test scores, and based on the rating for each translation that they do, they get more calls and they get to translate more. But yeah, it's a higher per minute rate once you get a human interpreter on the line. But from what we've seen, 80 to 90% of our calls are successfully completed with just having a automated translator on the line, because the automated translation is really, really good. So I could even do a demo for you, because we're on the conference call. When you called in, you spoke in, or you selected Russian, or I'm sorry, I selected Russian, you selected English. So I could speak in Russian, and you would hear it spoken back to you in English. If you'd like, I could do a quick demo.
Sure.
Let's see. So this is the teleconference. So let's go ahead and try that out. Здравствуйте, это очень приятно говорить здесь сегодня. Я могу вам рассказать немножко про мою компанию.
Opening, it's very nice to speak here today. I can tell you a little about my company.
Wow, that's great.
So as you can tell, sorry about that. It's a little above 85 or 90% accuracy. It depends on what language pair you're speaking. So while it's not 100%, and we don't claim that it is, it's more than enough for 90% of our calls usually. And it's being used in hospitals and doctors and EMTs, police. They're downloading our app individually, and then we're working with partners to try to deploy it on a wide scale from telcos, and we have 3 telcos that we're piloting with right now for the over-the-phone based translator. And then our API can be white labeled to have a independent like Sprint translator app or whatever the case may be, so we can preload it just like HP did.
And so, just to give you a little bit more clarification on our teleconference, we're the only ones in the world that currently have this technology. It's kind of like a UN communications tool. So when I build into the conference bridge, I actually selected German, right? So when Jan spoke in Russian and you got the translation in English, I got the translation simultaneously in German. And this conference hosts up to 75 participants speaking, one of our 44 different languages that we offer. So platform.
I knew that something was up when I dialed in, and I'm so used to entering our conference bridge at Sprint that I just typed the conference number immediately, like we do on ours, and the language changed to whatever's on number 9, and I was like, what the heck? I had to hang up and dial back in and listen to the prompts this second time around. But yeah, that works great.
Yep. So that's in teleconference. InterprePhone works the same way, except this is more business oriented, and we only have one other competitor in the world that does what we do over the landline. And they just closed their first telco. They're an Israeli-based startup. They closed their first telco in France. And basically, it's just for businesses with 1 million subscribers that can do one-to-one outbound translation calling. We have the ability to allow inbound participants to call. So you could have like 500 people on a single conference call, all speaking in different languages. No one has that. We do have like trademarks and patents on the flow of these services, and we can do real-time translation with a lot more languages than them, and we have the 20,000 human interpreters, plus, like we mentioned, it can be white-labeled, and it's very easy to connect to. We could either terminate the call for the telcos that we offer this to, so they just set up a short code, or we can use their SIP interconnect and then have them collect the money for the international calls. But we also just started pricing this out consumer-wise for unlimited calling with translation for $49 a month. So we're switching from a kind of a per minute model to an unlimited dialing model, and we'll see how the traction goes on that. John, were you going to say something?
No. Go ahead, Jan.
So this talks more about our 20,000 live interpreters. All of our technology is HIPAA and regulatory compliant. When users register for any of one of our services, and they all revolve around speech recognition, translation, and text-to-speech, they get access to our website. So once they're in our website, they can view all their call history, they can listen to all of their conference calls or all of their InterprePhone translation calls, or even teledictation, which is just like a notes-taking hotline that does transcriptions. So you call in, and you can listen to all your calls on the dashboard, as well as the transcription of each one of the conference calls. So you don't have to take notes on your conference calls. You just log in, and you can get the audio or get the transcribed text or get the translation. So that's on our website now. We worked very closely with Microsoft. When we first launched, we partnered with Nuance, and we try to constantly stay ahead and see where the industry is trending. So we added optical character recognition API to our slew of offerings, so we can take pictures and translate those into multiple different languages. We also work with Nuance for the optical character recognition part of our app. They invited us to go to Vegas and demonstrate how we integrated it into our mobile application, because we were also the first company besides to do the speech recognition in the cloud with Nuance. We also were the first to implement the optical character recognition in the cloud on a mobile app. So we met
is all the Nuance? Sorry, is all the Nuance stuff hosted by them? The services that you use, or you have that in your own cloud, or how does that work?
It's kind of like we have a media gateway, so it goes into our system, and then it gets relayed to Nuance. We do additional encoding as well as noise cancellation, and we have that algorithm that processes the results against the Bid You Mean engine. So it takes Nuance and it adds another layer of abstraction to it, but it goes through both.
Okay.
So we also have the applications on all of our platforms. So when Microsoft saw us demo this in Vegas, they immediately wanted to introduce us to their higher level managed partner managers in Boston and Cambridge. So we met with them and we became a managed partner. So what that means is we have the highest level of partnership with Microsoft. They have like gold partners where people post that on like their homepage, but we have managed partner status. So there's only 4 companies in the Northeast which have that status within Microsoft. So it's like Nuance Communications, Kodak, us, and then another company called Aztec. We're the only private startup-based company in that program. So they funded us. They've helped guide us through building our applications on the Windows 8 platform and other devices as well. So we're fully integrated with Windows 8, also with Intel. They did a similar type of campaign with us. We work perfectly on Android. And these are some of the screenshots. Microsoft actually funded the development and the design of our user interfaces, and then we just added our API to it. We also offer another program that's really targeted towards telcos, is our hearing impaired application, which just went live this week. And this is a really cool application because what it lets people do is it actually people that are hearing impaired, like AT&T has the TTY service, which they provide. So that's only in the U.S., and that's only in English, and they have to operate and manage an entire call center. What we've done is we've removed the necessity for a call center and the restriction of having it only be in the U.S. and only in English. And with partnership with Microsoft, we created this app that you can see here. I think you can still see my screen, right?
Yep.
So this is currently in the Windows Store. SpeechTrans for hearing impaired. You can call out anywhere in the world. And there it is. I'm going to call it.
You are connected to SpeechTrans hearing impaired service. Anything I type will be spoken on the phone.
And then anything that the person responds back will be typed out for the hearing impaired person to read.
Anything that person a 5-pack contact out here in Prosper's Mystery.
Actually, my speech recognition. So what it does is it repeats back to you what you said. Because I'm calling from 2 lines, it's creating an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Let me mute that 1 line. So it types what we're saying in real time, and it repeats it back to you in order to verify the accuracy. So I know that it misrecognized me the first time on the phone, so I'll just speak again. So now I could be hearing impaired, and I could use the telephone without the need for an operator ever. Cool. And it'll also do translation.
So have you guys started working with WebRTC yet?
We support WebRTC because we're Windows 8. A lot of the technologies.
My interest in the way that it doesn't delete Jackie Wins.
Sorry about that. So yeah, we support WebRTC. Our API is just the REST URL. So anything that can capture audio and stream it, or just upload the file, we can support WebRTC. Okay. WebRTC just isn't, Metro UI friendly because of our partnership with Microsoft, but we do have a website that's going to be using WebRTC coming out that lets users do this from a web interface. But even without that, I kind of flew over this slide, and we came out with, we were the first company to come out with a mobile speech-to-speech translator in the cloud. Even before Google Translate had their application, we were the first company to come out with the over-the-phone-based translator, even before our competitor, who came out 2 years ago and closed their first deal with SFR France. We had it before them. And then we were the first ones to come out with a solution for users that don't have Windows 8, as well as just even powerful desktops to be able to still use our software. And it's similar to the Amazon Workspaces, which they came out after us. I don't know if you've heard about Workspaces and what that does.
No, I haven't.
So Workspaces is a virtual desktop in the cloud for targeted towards consumers, so that they can have a remote desktop they can log into, which is hosted and managed by Amazon. We have something similar, which is hosted at the Microsoft Azure data center because of our partnership with Microsoft. All of our servers are on Azure, and we have the ability to host virtual desktops for users. So even if they have an Android device, even if they have an iPhone or iPad, they can connect to our speech web service with full desktop support, ability to use our Windows 8 applications, ability to use any applications they want from those mobile devices for a monthly fee. And that's speech web. So with WebRTC, you still have the restrictions of not working properly on mobile devices and not all browsers being WebRTC compliant. With SpeechWeb, you can design native code and then it'll run on any device. We also offered one of the things that we've heard feedback, and the way that we kind of add new services, and it seems like we have a lot, but they're all based on the three core competencies of speech recognition, translation, and text-to-speech. But we add them based on what our users are requesting. So 4 years ago, we had a person who was hearing impaired. They used our app and they requested that we make it for the hearing impaired, because there's 360 million users in the world that could really benefit from our technologies if it can be modified to work in the fashion that I just demonstrated. And that's what we did. So we built it out with Microsoft's help and the UI and some funding, we were able to take that to market. So the next product that we've just rolled out that has great potential that we see, we're working with companies like Kyocera and others to potentially white label, is our wearable wristband. So basically it allows you to take the wristband and speak into that as your mic and speakerphone rather than speak into your phone. So if you're traveling and you're using your SpeechTrans app, you don't have to hold the phone up to a stranger, or even, people get uncomfortable with that, giving their phones to strangers to speak into the microphone. So you just hold the wristband up and you can speak into it. You can use it to answer and make phone calls. You can use it to, as a time. And this we're selling on our website for $99. So it's just launched this week. And again, we're already seeing some good uptake. We were just on ABC Orlando.
Wow, so that's
yesterday.
Now?
Yeah, yep. You can buy this now. We could probably send you one after this call if you'd like. And it just syncs up to your iPhone. Yeah, it just syncs to your iPhone, and anything that's Bluetooth enabled on your iPhone, it has a really loud speaker and microphone. And it even has a headphone jack. If you don't want everyone to hear your conversation, you can plug in headphones. Or it answers calls on speakers, so if you're driving, you can use that, and it works great with our app. So, again, our product portfolio includes mobile. We have the dictation apps, chat, translation, hearing impaired on all platforms. We've got the desktop and laptop with SpeechWeb, landline as the InterprePhone and teleconference that can be used by telcos and businesses alike. And then we have the Enterprise API, which is what HP used in their My Room product, which lets you add speech recognition to your own application easily, regardless of what platform it's on. So they have SpeechRec working on Linux, on Android, all using our API with their application, and obviously iPhone. So this is the pricing that we have generally when we're doing permanent pricing, or we have that's like pay-as-you-go. We have the subscription fees, which we're moving towards more and more, so you'll be able to have access to all of our mobile applications for $1.99 a month, our telephony applications with unlimited international calling for $49 a month, and then SpeechWeb is also $49 a month. So a little bit about the team. Again, I'm on the right here, co-founder, COO. John is the CEO. Then we have our development team, Chief Technology Officer, Chief Innovation Officer, and then our board with Microsoft as a technical advisor of our board. So if you have any questions, I know there's probably been a lot that were answered, but you probably still have some outstanding. We'll be happy to answer them and find out what you think the next step should be, Eric.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, my interest is